Hey guys, it's Ryan here at Lion DAO. I wanted to do a quick video today on DEX aggregators. Since I launched Lion DAO, I've realized that a lot of people don't really know how they work or even that they exist. And I wanted to show you kind of the power of DEX aggregators and why it's important to use them to get the best deal when you're trading. So on Terra, there are lots of different DEXs. Um, we've got Astroport, we've got White Whale, we've got Terra Swap, we've got Phoenix DEX. I think there's maybe a couple of others as well. And across all those DEXs, there's like duplicate pairs, different levels of liquidity, tokens paired with different tokens, and that means that if you are just swapping into one pool, you're potentially leaving some value on the table. I'm exemplifying this here on the screen with on TFM.com here, and you can see all the different raw pools that exist. So it's paired. I think we've got 15 different pairs here with raw, and I just wanted to kind of show an example of how DEX aggregators work. So a lot of people might just go direct to a DEX. So here I'm on Astroport, and wanted to kind of show an example of the difference between trading direct on a DEX versus using a DEX aggregator. So here I'm gonna the higher the amount, the more important using a DEX aggregator is. So I'm going to do examples of swapping USDC to raw. Here I'm going to try and swap. Well, do an example of swapping 1,000 USDC to raw. You see here that that Astroport is routing USDC to Luna to raw, and my expected output is 769 million raw. So let's remember that number, 700, or let's nearly 770 million. Now, if I go to TFM.com, and I'm just on the DEX tab here on the quick swap, and I've set up Axelar, USDC, and raw. I'm going to try and do the same swap here on Axelar USDC to raw. I've put in 1,000 USDC again, and you can actually see here that using TFM.com, I'm getting 3.08% more raw than if I did this swap on Astroport, where I'd be swapping to 769 million. Here on TFM, they're going to give me 798 million for the same amount of money. So an extra, what's that, almost 30 million raw from doing this swap. And I think you're probably wondering, like, how does that work? So TFM does routing, and if we sort of expand this view and click here, it'll show you exactly how it's going to route that swap from USDC to raw. So it's actually splitting. Oh, it's just TFM refreshing the rates every now and again. So it's actually splitting almost 60% and going from USDC to whale to raw, because we've got a raw whale pool that's got some decent liquidity. It's putting 40% through that same route that Astroport's suggesting, from USDC to Luna to raw, and then it's putting 0.4% through this weird pool of going to Luna, going to save, and then going to raw, because there's a small raw safe pool with like a few $100s of liquidity there. There you have it. You're getting 3% better swap using TFM than if you swapped direct on Astroport. And then if we CoinHall also have a DEX aggregator, Unfortunately, on CoinHall, you can't do any pair to any token to any token. In fact, there is a USDC. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if this works. Raw to USDC. This is a really small pool. As you can see, there's $9 of liquidity in here. I wonder what happens if I try and swap $1,000 here, and whether it's going to. There you have it. What's this? 799 million. And you can see here that it's doing the same, pretty much the same routing as TFM was suggesting. So 60% via whale to raw and 40% via Luna to raw. So again, there are two options for DEX aggregation: TFM.com and coinhole.org. And here, using both of those, you're getting about 3% better. I think probably more than nearly 4% better. I think 4% better than if you went direct via Astroport. And so there's, I guess there's two reasons as to why it's important to use DEX aggregators. So first, obviously, you're getting a better deal, as we've already shown. And then secondly, what will happen if you just swap direct into one pool is that a lot of people have pointed out that this address here, 5 KUHN, is doing a lot of trades on all the pairs across Terra, really. And what this bot is doing is it's taking advantage of basically people not using DEX aggregators. So if we did this swap into Astroport and we left 4% on the table, that would create an opportunity for bots to basically balance the pools. So if we increase the price of raw in the raw Luna pool, this bot would probably make a trade in the raw whale pool, buy some raw because it's cheaper to buy it in whale, and sell it into the Luna pool. So that's what this bot, this 5 KUHN bot, and there's a few other bots as well that operate on Terra, that are basically constantly looking across pools and looking at, can I go use the USDC, swap between a bunch of pools and make a profit at the end of it. So you're letting bots take profit and take it out of the ecosystem if you don't trade wisely and use DEX aggregators. So this is a big advertisement for TFM.com and coinhole.org as DEX aggregators that you can use to get the best possible deal when you're making a trade. And this doesn't just apply to raw. This applies to, so I think if we were supposed to presume if we were to do the same trade in Luna, this has got deeper liquidity, so you would need to make a larger trade here. If we do an example of a $10,000 trade, you can see here this is taking 7 steps, routing it through different pools and getting you a slightly better outcome versus trading direct on Astroport. So there you go. Hope this has been useful. Make sure you use the tools at your disposal to get the best possible deal when you're trading, and don't let the bots steal your tokens. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.